Hello and welcome. You're watching Simply Bewitching by Wendy, and today I'm taking part in a collaboration with the Take 5 group. Thank you. Mary from the Painted Peach, Jeannie from Jeannie's Palette, and Christy from Funky Junk Inspiration for letting me be included in the group. I am just going to show you guys a quick reel on how to make a leprechaun with foam clay. Right there, I've already taken some foam clay and conditioned it. I always choke when I'm talking here. And I'm rolling it into a ball to make the head for my leprechaun. Super simple. Make sure you condition that stretching and pulling. You can see I'm doing it there. And all you're doing is letting the moisture even out and the air bubbles come out of your foam clay, which will help prevent cracking. If you haven't used foam clay, you guys, it's incredible. You have to get some. This is TCT clay, and I really, really love it. It's a fantastic texture. If you have arthritis, but you've always wanted to play with clay, foam clay is the place to go. It's going to get your creative juices flowing and remind you of the freedom of using your imagination when you were a child. Not really going step by step here because you can see what I'm doing. I took a piece of green clay and I rolled it into a little cylinder, and then I rolled this one into a ball and I flattened it out to be the base of my hat, but it stuck to the table, so I just pulled over the little baggie and pressed it down on that, and voila, it worked perfectly. Now you're going to take that little cylinder piece and set it on the center of your flattened circle, and you have already created your hat. Normally I would use some brown or some black when I make the little piece that goes around the base of the hat, but I didn't have any clay that color, so I used purple. And you know what? I think that's just fine. It added to the whimsical nature of the little leprechaun. I know y'all have probably seen people craft making food and cute kitchen things, cinnamon rolls and chicken legs and all those cute things. And those are fun. They are fun. I love a lady named KJ. I think it's KJ Decorates. She's fabulous. But my passion is definitely leaning towards making little characters. I just love trying to create personalities inside of them. This little character is kind of rushed. I had 10 minutes before I had to leave to get to the bus stop to pick up the grandson, so I didn't make it super perfect and super smooth. But here's the thing. When you're making these little whimsical characters, they don't have to be. Leprechauns are naughty. Leprechauns are crazy and whimsical and just, they're imperfect. So when you're hurrying, they're the perfect kind of thing to create. Getting my hat sort of evened and hollow the middle out just a little bit so it sits flat on the head. That's my son walking back behind me, back and forth. So I'm just hollowing it out, and it's a soft clay, so when you hollow it out, you have to be careful not to squeeze what you've created. Then I just stuck it on the head, and I bent the hat around, made it how I wanted, grabbing two more little pieces of that kind of flesh-colored clay, and we're just going to form some little ears, and that's just taking two little tiny balls, rolling it into kind of a teardrop shape. Oh, sorry, I was on the nose there. And the nose is just simply a ball. You just have to find the right size ball to make the nose for your little guy. And it's like making a gnome's nose. You can make it small, you can make it big. There's the ears. Make your little teardrop, flatten it out, and then you can just stick your fingernail down inside it. If you don't have nails, you can grab any kind of little tool that will kind of just give it a little line inside it so it looks like an ear. But with these little ears, they're leprechauns. I gave them a little point. The point touches right at the top of the hat. And you can see how quickly We are creating a leprechaun. We already have, I think anybody who saw that would know you've created a leprechaun already. Now I'm just rolling out a snake. There's the nose. And you guys, if you want your leprechaun to have eyes, you don't have to pull the hat down like that. I was hurrying and I just thought it was cute, and so I just went this route. I like the little gnome leprechaun look. You're going to roll out a snake in whatever color you want the beard and the mustache to be in. And so I rolled out my snake, and then I thought, oh, I better put the body on before the beard, otherwise they might stick, get all messed up. I made another little cylinder, and I'm just using a knife to cut down the middle, and that is going to form the legs for the leprechaun. And you just stick your finger in and make the little hole to stick the feet or legs or shoes or whatever you're doing with yours. I'm telling y'all, foam clay is so easy to work with. All you have to do is close your eyes for a few minutes and imagine what you want, and then grab the clay and get going. Grab a toothpick. You don't have to use toothpicks, but it definitely helps keep it together. Connect the head to the body. There we have our little beginnings of a leprechaun. And he falls over. Another thing you have to know about foam clay is it's so soft that until it's dry, your stuff will just keep bending and falling. It's kind of like when you take the whipped cream and you onto the top of your cup, and you have this perfect little peak, and then as it goes, it starts sort of falling sideways or sinking down into your cup. Same thing with the clay. I'm just making a sleeve there. I made a, I don't know what you call it, almost like a candy corn shape. Hollowed it out where the hands would go, and then you just pop it on where the arm goes and take a tool. There are clay tools. Y'all, I really was rushing. I just grabbed what I had. And you just smooth it on and make sure it's sticking good. There's the second arm going. I just think it's just so much fun. It's just such a fun thing to pick up chunks of foamy, soft, fun to touch clay and then just take and turn it into a character. I can't tell y'all how much I enjoy doing it. Now I'm taking the snake and I'm trying to make one end a little bit thinner just to poke it up under the edges of the hat. I kind of pushed that hat down too soon. I should have left it up until after the beard was on. But, you know, sometimes we get carried away when we're crafting, and I did. I pushed it down. It's fine. It's fine. It's all good. Don't worry. I got the beard up under there. Then you just take your little coils or your little snakes, and you twist and make them into a little curly, free-flowing beard. And I used a knife to cut it. You could use scissors. You can pinch it with your fingernails. And you just make a whole bunch of these little wormies, different widths. Some are very thin, some are a little bit thicker. I try to keep really thin ones sort of on the top. They just give more of a wispy hair kind of feel. Twisting it, coils. I just think that looks more, I don't know, more leprechaunish in my imagination. But when you do it, you use your imagination. And all you do is fill in up under the hat, under and around the nose, until you don't see any more of the leprechaun's face. This is probably the longest part of making the leprechaun. I've made leprechauns, fairies, bunny rabbits. I made Pete's dragon. That's my all-time favorite. Just regular dragons, butterflies, books. If you can imagine it, you can get your foam clay out and you can create it. It's that simple, I promise. I really wish I could put foam clay in the hands of everybody in America. I know there would be less fighting and less issues in the world if everybody could create with foam clay. I am telling you, I'm not even kidding, okay? I'm not even kidding. It's just such a joy. That was panic. You see that? Look back. That was panic. Oh my gosh, it's getting close to time. I don't want to be late. Y'all, I'll tell you a funny story. I finished making this and I raced off. It's not really a funny story, but I raced off fast as I could to go get my grandson. I get into the parking lot and I am waiting to pick up the child. First person, front of the line, and I hear, as it's time for the kids to come out, get in your car, get in your car. And then you hear shots fired, confirmed, shots fired over a walkie-talkie. And everybody's being yelled at to get in the car, and the kids aren't coming out. And I'm in a panic because now I'm like, good Lord, my grandson's in a school that's had one of these stupid school shootings we keep hearing about, and I can't get him, and I'm freaking out. And then I hear it was a shooting at a local store, and so I don't know why we're not getting our kids, but we're not. But I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited, and then we get the kids. We still don't know what's happening. And I try to go home and I can't get home because the road's blocked. It was a tragic day. I don't even know what happened to this point. There were no shootings that I know of. There was, I believe, a high chase accident, police involved with a speed type of thing. Anyway, it was a long day and a lot of panic. That is why I'm posting late. So you saw me finish the beard there. The last thing I do is roll out a little piece and I put it on sideways so it just tucks up under the nose, and I kind of curled it up into a funky little mustache for the leprechaun. Now I'm making some shoes for it. I would have loved to have made black shoes. I think that would have been really cute, and I would have made a little black ring around that green hat. But I'm out of black clay, so, gotta use what you gotta use. Grabbing a little bit of light green clay. Y'all, this clay is so old. I have had this TCT clay for 2 full years, and it's still good. There are pieces where the top gets some air on it that I have to throw away, but overall, that clay has held up really well. I made a little hole down in I made like a teardrop, and then I just curled up the toes, made a little hole in it, and then I just took that little piece there that you saw me make, and I used that for the leg. Obviously, you're going to do that twice. It's either that or give him a crutch. And hey, it's your leprechaun. Maybe he came down the rainbow hard and now he's missing a leg. He has only made of clay after all. It is fun. It is so fun to just start crafting, often not knowing what I'm going to make and watching what comes out. Our imaginations are so full of beautiful thoughts, and when you put the clay in it, they form and they come out and they make creatures. They make food. They make so many things. It's just fun. There I'm just rolling out 2 balls. We're about to be finished with it. You can see the foam clay bounces. It bounces, y'all. It doesn't break. It bounces. And you just roll it into another kind of teardrop shape. I use a knife to cut the little thumb shape. If I had more time, I would also put in the fingers. But you take your little teardrop, kind of lightly flatten it, make a little thumb, And, you'll stick the little point where it's pointier at the top. You're going to stick that into the sleeve. And then you just have a little hand. When you're done with these guys and they've gotten close to dry, you can grab one of those skewers and you just stick it up, sorry little leprechaun, but up his backside. And then you can stick it in your flower vases and arrangements, Easter baskets. You can do all kinds of cute things with them. They look amazing. If you're gifting somebody a little floral arrangement, you can stick these in there and add a little flower in his hand or whatever you want to do. And people will be so impressed. And literally you're taking, this is a less than 20 minutes to create. And it just adds so much character. It just adds so much extra character. I was basically done there and I decided I wanted to put a belt on him. Again, if I'd had more time, I probably would have rolled out a shamrock. I'm also thinking I will look for one of those little black buckets that you get at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to fill it with some gold coins and set him on the top of that. And yeah, you can just come up with all these magical ideas. Let your inner child free and play. I call this the hashtag clay play experience. And all you're going to do is wrap that around, use a tool of some kind. I don't think that knives are your best tool. You could use a little wooden thing or a little plastic thing and it would have been easier, but it worked. It worked. It got this done quickly. I think he's adorable. And I will hold him up here in a second and you'll see him. And I hope you enjoyed watching this. If you did, I hope you will like and subscribe and watch for more. I like to make a lot of film characters, but I also craft a whole variety of things and I would love for you to come back and watch. And there he is, imperfect, but absolutely adorable. Thanks for watching.